Please be seated. We're continuing in Philippians chapter 2. I'm going to read the scriptures, pray, and get into it. Oh, it's 5 minutes to 11. I need to get fast. Philippians 2. It says, "Therefore, my beloved, as you have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. For it is God who works in you both to will and to do for his good pleasure. Do all things without complaining and disputing, that you may become blameless and harmless, children of God without fault, in the midst of a crooked and perverse generation, among whom you shine as lights in the world, holding fast the word of life, so that I may rejoice in the day of Christ, that I have not run in vain or labored in vain. Yes, and if I be poured out as a drink offering on the sacrifice and service of your faith, I am glad and rejoice with you all. For the same reason, you also be glad and rejoice with me." Father, we thank you so much for your word. We thank you for what you're doing in our lives. Father, thank you for your goodness. Father, as we go into this right here, open up our hearts and the things that you want us to know. Please speak them to us. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay, I'm going to take a little twist on this. I'm going to ask you to pretend with me. Okay? We all know, I've rehearsed some of this stuff, so most of you know we're trying to track with me. But let's say, again, you're pretending with me, this is being written from Pastor Tom in Michigan, a province of Rome. And he's writing to New Song Community Church, a province of Philippi. Okay? So let's see if we can receive this as Pastor Tom writing us a letter, giving this information. Got it? It's kind of a little pretend thing. But again, it kind of puts it in the same perspective. Because Paul is in prison. And he doesn't know if he's getting out. He's asking to pray that I get out. He's already made a decision where he says, okay, when I live or die, I'm glorifying God. It's better for me to stay here for you. But he's gone through that whole thing. He's in prison. He's there writing letters to different churches. Pastor Tom's up in Michigan. We get text from time to time. Not the same, but we communicate. But Paul's doing that, so he's now concerned. Philippi was one of his earlier churches that he basically got going. They're moving forward, and he has a concern that they continue. Got it? And so, to paraphrase it, "Therefore, my beloved New Song, as you have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but much more in my absence while I'm in Michigan, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling." We're kind of working with the team, but this is the same kind of a concept. Because our pastor's away, Paul's away. The Philippians received this message, and they're working through it. So he actually says, "Therefore, my beloved," he's getting to show that relationship, a very strong relationship, not in my presence only, but in my absence. Now, this is one thing. Most of us, how many of you know people, not you, but you drive the speed limit when you see that Lady Lake policeman car, that Sheriff Lake Sumter, hello officer, 35, going to the village, 35, But when he's not there, do you still do what you need to do? So we have, again, he's saying, okay, while I was there, you all obeyed, but I'm not there, and you're still obeying. And that's that deeper level of obedience. When no one's looking, I still do what's right because it's the right thing to do. Not I'm doing right because my boss is looking, my mom's looking, my dad's looking at me, the police was looking. I'm doing right because it is the right thing to do. And I've internalized that, and this is how I do. Got it? So he's complimenting them on that. He's saying, not just when I'm there, but when I'm not there. There's a verse in Colossians 3, you can look at it. The concept is men pleasers. And we do have, even in the church, men and women pleasers. And that means I do things because it's not what I do. I'm just doing it to make you happy. I'm doing it to do good in front of you. It's like, oh, Jared, you're such a spiritual person. Yes, you. And some people do that. Some people, when it comes to giving, some people doing stuff, I need to be seen. And Jesus, that's not how he wants us to do it for the right reasons. It's up to him. Now, let's say this for a side note. If you are doing your church stuff, your God stuff to be seen of man, when you stand before Jesus, and you're going to say, God, I did all this stuff for you. What is he going to say? Oh, no. You did it for them. And when they, that was your reward. There's nothing up here waiting for you in heaven. That was your reward. So it's important to see who you're doing what you're doing for. And that's why the motives of the heart are very, very important. Now this part of here says, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. One of the problems, not you all, but church folk that you have run into over time, they read this verse as, work out your neighbor's salvation with fear and intimidation. I'm looking at my sister right here. She has a sweater, but she has her arms out. My mother, we're talking about back when I was a baby, went to a church. I'm not going to say the denomination. A church mother walked up the church, because my mother is an old church. They had to open up windows so the air would come through because they didn't have air conditioning. And my mother, she's very practical. She said, I'm hot. I'm not wearing no sleeves. I'm going to be cool. So she comes there with her kids. And one of the mothers of the church came up and said, you're like Jezebel. Showing your arms like that. Got lipstick on. Jezebel. Now, how did that ministry bring to life? It did. But again, if I was working on my being very judgmental, pharisaical, I wouldn't have time to work on my mother trying to be cool because it's a hot building. Get it? And one of the problems we have, not here, but other places that you know, is basically, I'm so busy fixing you, I don't fix me. Amen. And that's an issue. So he's saying, work out your own salvation. And if I'm working on Derek, I might not have a whole lot of time to micromanage you. In fact, if I'm working on Derek, I'm going to understand what it took for me to overcome. So when I'm dealing with you, I'm going to be able to be gracious and merciful. Because I know it took me 5 years to get fully clean and delivered from such and such. And I'm expecting you in 2 days. And that's sometimes what happens. But if you think about what God has done in your life, I'm able to extend mercy. And that's why it says, work out your own salvation. Now, the big picture is he's talking to the Philippian church, and he's concerned about unity and oneness. You know, we were talking about it a couple of weeks ago. He's talking about the unity, the oneness, the body working together. So one very good component is that I'm dealing with me, and I'm understanding what I'm having to do. For example, what if you had a problem with cursing? Just say you had a problem with cursing. And it took you a while to deal with it, and finally you got control over cursing. If you understood how long it took you to overcome, and I'm just pulling something out. If I'm dealing with someone who walks up and says, oh, GD, that's a curse word abbreviation, you would be able to extend mercy and grace because you knew what it took for you to get delivered or set free, or to actually renew your mind so that wasn't coming out of you that way. But if I'm not working on me, I can take what the Bible says, thou shalt not, thou shalt not. And that's one of the problems with the Pharisees and those characters. They were good at telling what you should do, but they weren't doing it themselves. That's what Jesus said, you're like sepulchres. You're looking pretty outside, but dead men's bones inside, because you're not dealing with you. You're running around telling everybody what they need to do. And that's one of the problems some church people, not you all, but some church people have. And so it's very important. He says, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Now, there's a fear part where it's like, maybe fear and trembling. Well, there's a reverence before God. When you really, really, really love someone, you do not want to displease them. Right? If you really love them, you don't want to displease them. So there's a reverence before God. I don't want to displease you. I want to honor you. And then there's the trembling part. One day, you and I, and the verses are there so you can go home and study, and you can give before God. It says that we will have to give an account for everything we do in the body. And that was written to the church folk. Not the unsaved, the church folk. So how you have lived your life, you're going to want to have to give account. And you're going to have to say, oh, well, before Jesus, you didn't have to give account. And it's very, very, very important. How many of you have ever gone to a doctor, and the doctor is supposed to give you information? They've done the blood work, they've done this and that and other, and there's a little bit of anticipation. What is he going to say? I don't know. He didn't tell me anything over the phone. He said I need to come in and talk to him. So in essence, they have taken what you have eaten, drank, whatever's going on in your body, and they have the report. And sometimes we like the report, sometimes we don't. But if you understand that concept, there's that little part that you're a little nervous, a little, okay, Lord, I'm trusting you. Same difference before God. That fear and trembling. I want to make sure that I'm doing what I need to do. So therefore, I'm making sure I have my stuff together. I tell when I'm talking to some people outside, I let them know that I do not have a heaven or hell to put you in. So therefore, it's not about, I'm telling you what God says. But I can't throw any rocks. I can't feel like I'm better than you because it's not my heaven to put you in. It's not my help to put you in. It's His. So let's go with what He says. But if you understand that I'm on the same plane as you, and that's what I'm trying to communicate with Him. I've got to say yes to Him just like you have to say yes to Him. Now there's another part in here that says, for God, it is God working with you to willing to do of your good pleasure, His good pleasure. God says, okay, I want you to work with me. There's a part where you're saying yes to Him. He wants you to work on this. For example, when I first got saved, I had a lot of stuff He needed to deal with. Cursing was one of them. Anger issues was one of them. I had a laundry list. And so God, in His gracious and mercy, would say, okay, Derek, we're going to deal with this one. Okay, Derek, we're going to deal with this one. Okay, Derek, we're going to deal with this one. So it's been a process. I've been walking with Jesus for a few years now. But again, He worked with me on this. And He worked with you on that. And then He worked with you on that. But the thing of, He would show me something, and I say, okay, Lord, you don't want me to do that. Help me. Give me the grace. Help me to work on that. Years ago, I used to really get into R&B music. Okay? I was a soul trainer a couple of times, and I used to lie. That was what I did. I used to be, I worked at Vons at that time. I used to push the carts a lot. I'm at the parking lot just going at it. Sing the song in my head, just go forward. I get saved, and now God says, okay, Derek, I don't want you going to the parties like that. I'm like, what? Excuse me? Because I was good at that. And so I said, again, because He's working with me, trying to work things out of me and put things into me. I said, Lord, if you don't want me to go to parties, please show me how. Show me why. So, Derek, I got an invitation. Heather, she was around the block. And back in California, I don't know how they did it in Florida, but they used to turn out parties. What that meant was people who were not invited to the party came to the party. Because they were angry that they weren't invited, they would start fights and shoot people. So I go to the party, and I'm there, and I'm Derek Believer. I even brought tracts. You know, those little religious things. Okay. Because I'm going to share with people at the party. I'm Christian. So I go there and I talk with people, and people kind of, okay, whatever. And then at a certain point, spiritually, I picked up something had changed. The music went up. The joints came out, and then it was like a speaker on the inside of Derek, get out, leave now. It was like somebody talking in the speaker inside. That's the best I can explain it. And I'm like, okay, I'm leaving now. So I leave, go home. A little bit later, somebody walks in with a gun, deals with the girl, Heather's father, pulls out the gun and does some stupid stuff, shooting and stuff like that. And if I was there, in my pecking order, I'm the oldest child. I have 4 sisters, 2 blood and 2 step, and a younger brother. The big brother always kicks in. So if I was there, I would have been right there with that guy. But God wanted to get me out. But He was showing me, Derek, I need you to let go. And so now I had a new problem. You mean I can't listen to what I was listening to before? And then some of you may know Andre Crouch. He was contemporary Christian music back at that time. God introduced me to Andre Crouch. So they had rhythm, they had beat. It wasn't like the old kind of music. So I was able to transition even in that. So I started listening to Andre Crouch, edifying my spirit, etc. My point is, there was a process by which I went from here to here. But I worked with God. When someone said something, just like she said something today, instead of saying, I'm like, Lord, are you in that? Are you trying to say something to me? And that's an important part of the growth. So He wants to work with, co-worker together with us. You've got to say, yes, Lord, and He empowers you to do it. I cannot be Christian without Christ. You cannot be Christian without Christ. If you do, you're on your own little energy trip. I'm nice, I'm good. And as you all know, myself included, you can only be so patient in your own strength. You can only be so loving in your own strength. And then that other part kicks in. And it's not good. But moving along. Now this verse 14 is important. It says, do all things without complaining and disputing. Do all things without complaining and disputing. Now again, this is for the church to function and work together, and you as a Christian to actually be a witness. Complaining, to express dissatisfaction or annoyance about something or someone. Disputing, to argue about something discussed heartily. Now, murmur is a half-suppressed muttering complaint, rumbling. Now, some of us do stuff, but we complain as we do. Is God being glorified as you do that? So we're being instructed here. Now, if you're one of the people that are a complainer, grumbler, murmurer, you said, Lord, help me with that. Help me to work with that. I want to honor you. And if I'm a mumbling, grumbling, complaining Christian, that doesn't honor and glorify you. So help me in this area. If that is an area of weakness in your life. But again, he wants to help you with that. That's why it says working together. He's going to work with you on that. He wants us to become blameless, harmless children of God without fault. If we are walking right, they won't be able to say, look at that. He's a Christian and he smokes drugs. He does this, he does that. This is almost a rabbit trail. Years ago, I saw this Cadillac, and on one side of the bumper, there was a Jesus fish, and on this side, there was a Playboy bunny. I was like, really? Who's he? Again, that was his mentality. But we need to be, again, become blameless, harmless children of God without fault. And we have scriptures here, and I'm trying to crunch on time because we're also doing communion. But it's a very important part that we understand. We are his advertisement. You are his epistles, known and read of all men. They look at you and say, I want some of that. This Jesus that you're talking, I want some of that. So we are that. Now, I want to illustrate something real quick. It says right here, in the midst of a crooked and perverse generation among whom we shine as lights in the world. Have a great time ministering. This right here, what color is this here? This is black. So let's assume this right here is the condition of this crooked, perverse generation. Now, what if I'm kind of a slip and sliding Christian? There's not much of a difference, is it? It's dark. Okay. But what if I'm an on fire Christian? There's a contrast. So we're supposed to shine as lights. And that's the goal. That's our objective. And again, if you're not shining as light, right now this represents you compared to this. Lord, help me. Give me grace. So it's not like a condemnation. It's like, Lord, I need more of you to do that. So that means I'm going to pray more. I'm going to study and read the Bible more. I'm going to renew my mind with what he says. And then I become more and more like him. And it's very, 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 very important. If you look here, I don't know if you have your notes. There's a picture, and there's the sun, the moon, and the earth. And when you go home, you can look at it. But again, the more Derek is in the situation, I block out that person seeing Jesus. The less of Derek, the more Jesus. See, the moon is supposed to reflect the sun. And if you look out sometimes at night, you see a full moon. Sometimes you see a half of a moon, quarter of a moon. Sometimes you can tell there's a moon, but you can't really see anything. We're supposed to be that full moon, that they see Jesus. We're fully reflecting Jesus. And that's a growth process. But that's what Paul is saying to the Philippian church. I want this for you. And the best way to do it is holding fast the word of life. If you're locked into this right here, if you think this, talk this, live this, you're going to reflect Jesus, because it's going to go from here to here. You're going to understand, this is my nature, this is what I do. And that's very, very, very important for it to go from here to here. So now we just have information. It's what I do. This is how I live. Whether anyone's looking or not, this is how I do. This is me. And that's his goal for us. And Paul is writing to the Philippian church saying, yes, I want you to hold fast. Now there's a part in here where it says work out. It says that basically salvation is like this. When you receive Jesus, that's called justification. Spiritually, you're born again, blah, blah, blah. Sanctification is the process between here and when you go to heaven. So we're working out. We're dealing with it here. Glorification, you're up there, glorified body, you're happy, blah, blah, blah. So this is what we're working at right now. And that's what he's addressing. And he wants to rejoice. Now, again, in verse 17 and 18, we're wrapping it up real quick. The bottom line is, they're trying to say, okay, he does not want to have lived, done all this in vain. He wants us to live it. If we live it from start to finish, then he's open. Kind of like you parents. Some of you invested in your kids. You raised these kids. You went through the whole thing. Measles, mumps, principal, there was a principal, all that kind of stuff. You've done everything. You've invested in them. You've shared. You've done enough. At a certain point, when you're a little baby, again, my mother, I'm always going to be your little baby. But when you're a little baby, gets married, he's now the responsible citizen, has a good job, and they're married, now they're kids, they're grandkids, and he's raising the kids right. Something in you says, Then his wife said, "You did something." And that's what Paul was saying in that last part of there. As you are living, I'm going to be able to sit back and say, yes, it wasn't in vain. It was not in vain. And so that's a very, very, very important part. And we wanted to roll now into communion. This is a beautiful part. If you're a believer of Jesus, feel free to take communion. And this is a time when we're remembering what he did. Some of the songs we sang are very, very, very important. And that the sheet of paper that I did with the 1 Corinthians 11, it's a good thing. I'd like to encourage you at home to kind of read it. So this is the part where we say to the Lord, you died in my place. I appreciate it. I'm grateful. I remember that. And you take the body and the blood. The bread is representative of Jesus' body. Upon that body went my sicknesses and your sicknesses. My disease and your disease. Okay. Upon that body went my sin. This is everything upon that body. So you're remembering what he did for you. He carried it for you. So you don't have to walk around sin-laden burden. You can actually say, Lord, thank you. And so we have a bread. If this is your first time, we don't have wine. You actually take this and you dip it in the grape juice. Greg's going to do that. The grape juice represents the blood of Jesus shed for us. And we were actually... The new covenant came about because of that. That blood that Jesus shed ratified the new covenant. So you and I can actually be children of God. So as we're going to say a little prayer, and if you want in this time, this little short prayer, recommit and reconnect, because this is this kind of a thing. Let's do that. Father, we thank you so much for this opportunity to remember Jesus. Remember what he did for us. And Jesus, we thank you that you didn't give up. You didn't throw in the towel. You didn't go to plan C, but you stood fast and you went all the way. Thank you, Jesus. And we do this in remembrance of you. In Jesus' name. Amen. I invite you to come forward. Father, we thank you so much for your goodness and your mercy. Father, we reflect and thank you so much that you made a way that we can have a relationship with you. And we do this, thank you for your goodness. We have one song, and then we'll close in prayer. Great is your faithfulness, O God. You wrestle with us in your heart. You lead us by still water into mercy. Nothing can keep us apart. So remember your people, remember your children, remember your promise, O God. Your grace is enough, your grace is enough, your grace is enough, oh. Your love and justice, God of Jesus. You think to lead us far. Lead us in the song of your salvation. And all your people sing along. Father, we thank you so much that you do not forget us. You love us. So Lord, we thank you as we leave here today that you continue working our hearts, our lives. That masterpiece that you are working in our lives. Thank you, Lord God, for doing it. We want to glorify you. We want to honor you. We want to be lights in this community. So continue what you started. We ask in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. Go forth.